What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be looking at percent increases and decreases when we're talking about an exponential equation. I have a couple of problems here that I'm going to go over real quickly. So let's look at the first one. I have a computer. It's worth $2,000. It loses 12% of its value each year. So it's decreasing by 12% every year, the value. Write an exponential equation to find out how much it would be worth at any given time, any given year. So first I want to ask a question. What percent means that something stays the same? What percent means that nothing is changing? It's not going up, it's not going down, it's staying the same. That would be 100%. Right? That means that it's staying the same. If it keeps 100% of its value always, it's not going up, it's not going down. All right. So I have another question. What number doesn't change the value that it's multiplying? So if I multiply by a number and it doesn't change, what number am I multiplying by? What number doesn't change what it is multiplying? That'd be 1. So if you multiply something by 1, it doesn't change. It stays the same. 1 and 1% are the same thing. If you think about it like this, 100%, the percent sign here really just means divided by 100. So percent just means divided by 100. And then I get rid of the percent sign. That's 1. 100 divided by 100 is 1, right? So if we're talking about something going down by 12%, like it is in this equation, something decreasing by 12%, it's going to look like this. It's itself, 100%, and then it goes down, which is like minus, and then 12% is how much it's going down. So what is that? That is equal to 100 minus 12 is 88, right? 88%. So it keeps 88% of its value each year. When it loses 12% of its value, it has 88% left. So let's look at this another way. If 100% is the same as 1, then what is 12% the same as? Well, let's look at it this way. 12%, as we said, is the same as a percent means over 100. So 12, and then you can put that over 100. That would be the same as, you could subtract these, and that would be equal to 88. Well, let me say equals 88 over 100, because we know percent means over 100. Even just doing the arithmetic, you have to keep the same denominator. 100 minus 12 is 88. So 12 over 100, if you know the trick about moving over the decimals over, that's great. But if you don't, you could use a calculator. 12 divided by 100 is 0.12. You see here, if the decimal was here, dividing by 100 makes you move the decimal over 1 and 2, and there's the decimal point. So that would be 0.12. I'm going to make these a little bigger. It's easier to see. All right? So we have 1 minus 0.2, and that equals 0.88. 0.88. 88 over 100 also equals 0.88. 0.88. So that's the multiplier. So the multiplier here, I'm going to make this bigger again. Multiplier is 0.88 or 0.88. The starting value, well, what value does it start at? It starts at $2,000. So the starting value is $2,000 or you can, if we're working in dollars, we know that one of our variables is dollars. We can just say 2,000. So our equation here is y is equal to a times b to the x. I'll make an actual exponent. And we know that our starting value is 2,000, and our multiplier is 0.88. And x can be any year. So say, for example, after 10 years, 0.88 to the 10th power times 2,000. That means after 10 years, my computer will be worth $557 if it keeps going down by 12% per year. And that's that. So that's a percent decrease. I'm going to go a little quicker with the percent increase because we kind of get the gist. So the bond market, that's something you can invest in, growing at 5% per year. If you have 5,000 invested in the bond market, write an equation, tell me how much that investment will be worth in any given year. So we know the initial value. I'll start there. How much do I have in the bond market right now? $5,000, or I'm just going to put 5,000. If it's growing at 100% per year, that means it has its original value, the 100% of its original value, plus an extra 5%. What's 100% plus 5%? 105%. Now, 105% is the same as 105 divided by 100. Bam. That's the same. You can put that in a calculator, or you can move the decimal over from here, because it's the same as 105.0. Move the decimal over 1, 2, bam, 1.05. 1.05 is a multiplier. 105% is the same as 1.05. So if that's the multiplier, then I have the initial value, I have the multiplier. My equation is going to be y equals 5,000 times 1.05 raised to the power of x. And I mean, I can do the same thing. Let's say after 20 years, all right, I have 1.05 raised to the 20th power, and then I can multiply that times 5, my original 5,000. I have, $13,250. That's decent increase. But, I gotta wait 20 years for that. Anyway, hope this video is helpful. If there's a problem with a percent increase, add the percent to 100, turn it into a decimal or a ratio. There's your multiplier. If you have a percent decrease, make sure to subtract it from 100. So you have what you have, 100% minus what you're losing, minus what you're losing, and that's what you got left. And then there's the fraction, and you can turn that into a multiplier so you can put it in an exponential equation. And that's it. That's all there is to it. All right. See you next time.
Math.